had a reservation for Thursday. We ended up moving it because I can't go. I don't know why. My brother just didn't want to take the kids, but that's fine. They're not. He's just the uncle. So if he doesn't want to do that, that's fine. So I've been trying to get something for Friday, but nothing's popped up. We'll see. If not, I'm not really worried about it.
I have Saturday where we have to use those tabs that to the food
Yeah.
festival. I was like, guess we're eating that day. And then we have the 10th, but that's because we're taking my sister's coming too. We're taking my niece to Disney for the first time since she was free. So it's been 5 years. So we're gonna see how that goes. I'm taking a personal day and I'm going to Disney on Wednesday the 10th. So, which is right after Christmas ends. So I'm really hoping that it's a chill day at Disney
It usually is
Wednesday.
after that. Yeah. And since you like to go in the morning, it usually is pretty laid back, like right after all the stuff's done, because it's kind of it's a dead period. The other stuff hasn't really started yet. And in fact, it's Lunar New Year, which I think is like the 25th or something like that. I just saw a thing for it today. My brother actually just sent me one, which is that's my favorite fest.
It's mine too. I love Lunar New Year. I think the food is really good. The vibe there is great. I really enjoy Lunar New Year.
Yeah, I like it better than Food and Wine.
Mhm.
And I did tabs for what is this one? Festival of Holidays too. How did you end up with tabs anyway? Because I thought you had gone before.
Because we went and we didn't use enough. So, and then,
Hadn't you done it
okay,
a couple of times?
we went once and we
Okay.
used two tabs. And
Okay.
then we went again, but instead of using tabs, we mobile ordered some of the specialty items from the food truck over there in Hollywood Land or whatever. And so we didn't use the tab. We just mobile ordered the burrito that we wanted to get, the Filipino burrito,
Mm.
whatever it was. It was really good. And then we ended up with tabs. So now we have tabs left. So on Saturday we're gonna go, and there's a few things we wanted to try anyway. And if we have any left over, then are you going on Sunday or no?
No, I don't have a reservation for anything.
So
Like
then
I don't think so.
we may just hand our tabs over to a nice family and
Yeah, which has happened to me
enjoy the
before.
rest of the
Yeah,
night.
that's how I've ended up with extras before.
Yeah, sometimes
Walking
you
by.
just, you're just gonna gift somebody a magical moment and say, enjoy a meal on me.
Well, I think some people, in fact, I know a lot of people do this. Like they will buy two tabs, and I don't do that. There's usually four of us, and I only usually buy one tab. It's like I guess I'm not trying to make a meal out of that. It really is just a sampling. Yeah, because the portion size is
Well, we
not
only
full
have one
size.
lanyard. We only bought one lanyard between the two of us. So
Yeah.
we don't we could easily just go and sample several things. Um, so that's what we're kind of hoping for, but it depends on how long we're there on Saturday because it depends on how crazy it gets.
Well,
So,
because it might because of the end of the holidays. So
yep.
that's a total possibility that it might actually be kind of busy. So yeah, no, we never do. I never buy more than one. I see plenty of people do it, and I guess they're trying to eat all that stuff. I really am going in it as it's a sampling
Yeah.
of what they have, because we usually go and still end up at some point having a meal, or sometimes we've gone and that kind of everything we ate together kind of was the meal,
Yeah.
because you had a little bit of everything. So okay, so you tried the sliders.
So we tried the sliders. The beef slider wasn't as good as the chicken. We thought the chicken was better.
Yeah, Aaron
Uh,
told me that too.
yeah,
Yeah.
they were pretty good. I mean, they were good for what they were. We really like the Filipino burrito, which I don't even think that is on the tab. I think it was just something you could get. I can't remember, but that was really good. That was probably one of our favorite things, though they stuck an entire piece of lumpia in a burrito, which I didn't know was possible. But my brother-in-law, who is Filipino, we brought him one, and he was pleasantly surprised by how good theme park Filipino food was. So
Oh.
it got a stamp of approval from my brother-in-law on that one. And then what else did we eat? We had something else from that truck. Oh, the empanada. We had the holiday empanada. That
Oh
was
yeah.
like Thanksgiving and an empanada. That was really good. If you like Thanksgiving food, it was really quite tasty. So that's what we ate. And I thought it was good. There wasn't anything that I was like, I have to eat it again, but there wasn't anything that I was like, ugh, I'm throwing it away. I thought their food for Festival of Holidays, I don't know, I feel like it was kind of, they didn't put a lot of thought into it. A lot of mac and cheese dishes.
Yeah, there was a lot of mac and cheese dishes, which I did. I'm gonna be honest. I bought the tab really early. Like
Yeah.
we just happened to be there after it was already kind of Christmas, and we bought one knowing, oh, we'll get back to it. And then I honestly I kind of forgot about it. Then when we looked, you're not wrong. So much of it was this mac and cheese, this mac and cheese, this mac and cheese.
And that's
And
because it's cost effective.
I guess.
Macaroni is cheap and it's a food that everybody likes. And it's just one of the it heats well. You can make it ahead of time, throw it under a heat lamp, and it will stay good. As far as like theme parks are concerned, I bet you, I mean, their like cost ratio is they're getting more bang for their buck. You know, they can charge maximum dollar and a pasta dish doesn't cost a lot to make. So I feel like Disney was cheating on that one. I think that they could do so much better. And I know that everyone talks about how they're quote, you know, hemorrhaging money and they're losing all this money. No, they're not. They pay their CEOs a lot of money. They're not losing as much as everyone would think. They know that they could cut corners in certain areas and their fan base will still be okay with it. So that's what they do. They just cut corners where they think that nobody's going to notice or everybody's just going to be okay with it.
Let's make it clear too. Like I think this has been said, at least on other stuff that I've been involved in. It's not the parks that are losing money.
No.
It's never been the parks that are losing money. It's other divisions. It's Disney Plus. It is the films. Speaking of
Yes.
which, I'll get to films here in a minute. I saw one, the latest one, which I'll talk about in a few. But yeah, so I mean, it's been a while since we've been here. It's just it gets crazy at work, and it's just that time of year.
Life
Um,
is crazy.
life gets all over the place. So we haven't done this for a while. So I guess wanted to hit some highlights of things we've done during the Christmas season, Disney related. One of them being like the Festival of Holidays. When I did go, I went, I don't know, the first couple of weeks of December, and that's when I did all my taps. I did try the sliders too. I didn't try the no, I tried one. I didn't try the beef one, and I think that was because I don't remember if we had talked about it
We
before
had
then.
a conversation and I told you if you're going to choose one, choose the chicken one.
But the beef one, whatever was in it, and I don't even remember, just didn't appeal to me as much as the chicken one did. So I
I
was like, oh,
it is a beef brisket slider with smoked onions and horseradish ketchup on a pretzel roll. The pretzel roll was it wasn't all that great, and it beef brisket and the pretzel and the horseradish, it wasn't vibing the same.
it
The
was the horseradish. That's what made us kept us from getting it because there were a couple in my party who were like, I'm not eating that.
yeah,
So
and
we're like, okay.
understandable. The chicken slider, which I will butcher the name, so I'm not even going to try. It had
It
a
was a crispy chicken. That's all I'll say.
yeah, well, it was like it's Japanese. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, togarashi something with urika. Anyway, mayo slaw on a Hawaiian roll. And I thought the mayo slaw was pretty good, and I'm not a
I
slaw
liked it.
person,
Yeah.
but it worked on the chicken, and the chicken had like a really good texture and it was a good flavor, and the Hawaiian roll complemented all of that. So yeah, it was really quite good. And we also had the spiced pear mule when we went, and which you can't get on the tabs, but we got one. And it was really usually the drinks at the Festival of Holiday booths are just fruit juice with like a splash of something in it so that they could charge for the alcohol.
Premium.
But this
Yeah.
mule was actually really quite good. If you like pear and ginger, because that's a mule. But I was surprised by that as well. So
Yeah, that was good. It also had dill pickles on it, which I really like. So you couldn't go wrong there. So I did have that. There was a lot of impossible stuff too. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I think they're trying to appeal to they know there's a lot of vegetarians and vegans, but people have to be really careful. Like I like the taste of impossible meat. I don't have a problem with it. But it's not diet, and I think people hear impossible meat and they think that it's like low caloric, and it's not. Impossible meat it's definitely not like gonna help you in the weight loss category or if you're trying to save a calorie or two. But the taste is there, and if you're a vegetarian, it's really good. Harder if you're vegan because some of their impossible stuff is still served with eggs or dairy. But yeah, I think they're doing really, I like what they're doing with the impossible meat, because it's serving a purpose to a community that is often overlooked.
Yeah, I don't mind it. In fact, I had the Impossible Chicken Bites, and
Hmm.
they were good. And I think some of our students, they're kind of mad at me because we toured a university that was a vegetarian cafeteria,
Ah,
and
yeah.
yeah, and
It's
so
good though.
I,
If anything
I
like
thought it was. I get heat for
I have
saying,
over
"Oh,
there.
yeah, you said it tasted just like chicken." Well, I mean, it did. Like I didn't say good chicken. It wasn't Chick-fil-A, but like it tasted like chicken. It tasted like something you'd make here in
Chicken.
your oven oven at home, and I didn't have a problem. Yeah, but the sauces they put on it there, I was fine with. In fact, everybody tasted it, and I think everybody in my party too was like, I don't know with the impossible thing, just give it a try. Like it's not impossible. I mean, it's just not going to be good. And they're like, oh, that's actually pleasantly surprising. It's actually not bad. No,
Yeah,
it wasn't. It was one of the better things that I had.
oh, sorry, my me close out of that. Anyway, yeah, I agree with you. I think that I think that they have they do really good things with it in terms of like giving it flavor. 'Cause like sometimes the biggest problem with non-meat meat is that it lacks a flavor. It's just
Yeah.
bland. But the Impossible line is really good. So I think that it's pretty good. I didn't have any this time around. I haven't looked at anything really that caught my eye. But I've eaten their Impossible line before, and I always thought it was pretty tasty.
We also had the impossible, the chorizo.
Was that
Um,
good? Because I like chorizo
I
or
I I
chorizo.
couldn't eat it because it was on nachos, and
Oh,
it was in the dip, in the nacho dip, just kind of sprinkled on top. So I was like, I'm not going near that. But both my brother and my daughter were like, that's actually pretty good. The chips were good. I tried the chips. Those were good. But no, I know I couldn't touch it.
yeah, because like I prefer I buy chorizo instead of chorizo when I make stuff. So like I like that flavor. I should try that because I'm gonna when I go on Saturday, I'm kind of picking and choosing what I wanted to get. So I'm gonna try that just because they sound good. What else? Oh, didn't you have a dessert?
I did. I had a couple. I had macarons are big with us, so I did have a macaron.
There's so
It was the peanut butter and the salted pretzel one, which was actually really, really good. And then we also had the cheesecake, that pumpkin cheesecake.
yeah.
Yeah, from the same place that had the chicken bites. Um, I don't like cheesecake, so I didn't eat that. And then the cheese thing, but it was, yeah, everybody liked that one too. So that was good. And then I had that tart it had Twix on top of it. It's basically chocolate pudding
Mm,
with Twix on top of it and a little, remember those little pies you used to buy from honestly from like the liquor store?
yeah.
Just, yeah, it kind of was like that size and stuff. It was good. It was one of the better things that I had. Um,
Which mac and cheese did you guys try?
oh
The
shoot.
Park Place?
It was the one that had some kind of a sausage in it. That I did try. I did try not the mac and cheese part, but the actual sausage.
Yeah.
And Julian, something like that.
Was it at the place you got the Twix tart?
No, no.
No, it was something else. Okay, because
Yeah.
they have a mac and cheese at the at the holiday duets cart. That one's an esquite mac and cheese. I don't remember.
Is there a description there?
Let me look. It
That
is
does sound familiar. Maybe that was something we
this
thought
one
about but didn't
says
get.
esquite carnitas mac and cheese with salsa matcha and spiced puff rice.
No, it wasn't that one.
And then, but they have like I said, they have like 4 places with mac and cheese.
Yeah,
So
they really did.
that's a lot of mac and cheese.
Yeah, when we started, because we were actually on the way, and when we were driving, somebody's got the menu up, going through saying, okay, this is what they have, and we're kind of making decisions as, okay, what do we want? Where's it at? So we can kind of like, plan it out. Like this is what we're getting. This is
Yeah.
the booth that it's at. So I don't run back and forth,
Well,
trying
and
to
it's
figure
so
out.
much better to to me, it's so much better to buy everything at one booth. So then all you have to do is just go to all the other places and pick it up.
Were they doing that? Because I didn't ask for this one, and the I asked somebody and they didn't know, because sometimes they do it and sometimes they don't.
They
If
did
it's
it when
really busy, they won't do it.
they did it when we were there.
Yeah.
Uh, but that was back in, I want to say that was even in November when we went, or like early December. Like it was it was a while ago.
So I guess it's kind of interesting to say that this one, I didn't find this one as busy.
Um, I think that there's a lot of people in the Disney vlogger and TikTok community that were talking about how they weren't excited for Festival of Holiday Food. There wasn't a lot of coverage of the Festival of Holiday Food in a lot of the videos that I watched, and even some of the TikToks I've scrolled through. There wasn't a lot of emphasis placed on the food, and so I think that Disney, a lot of their festival of anything, food festivals, it comes from the key holders. It comes from those of us who go there a lot and who want to sample what they have.
That
Um,
one really does.
yeah, and I just think that there wasn't a lot of wow factor. Because like even me, like once we bought the tasting card because we're like, okay, well, I'm sure we'll find enough that we want to. And then as we're
Yeah.
going through it, I was like, well, I'm not gonna eat 4 different types of mac and cheese. So I think maybe that was that, that had something to do with it too. There wasn't a lot of excitement over it. I'm kind of hoping that the Lunar New Year they have better offerings.
They usually do in general. Festival of Holidays has never been a top hit
Yeah.
with me.
And I thought last year it was good, but yeah, this year it's been okay. We are gonna find something. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we want to still try. I know that like there's been a lot of there's a lot more that I've noticed with people being more excited with the different drink, like cocktail offerings, and even trying to get Disney to branch out into the more like zero proof cocktails, like the fancier drinks. Even though Disney raised their prices on the alcohol, it's like everybody's going crazy over the Dole Whip shot, which is honestly bigger than a shot, so you can get it as a cocktail, and it was much better. But it's $20. It's like $17 and some change for like a shot.
And
But
they serve premium alcohol too, huh? That's probably part of it.
yeah, if here's my thing. If you're going to drink at Disney, right, for whatever reason, you like a cocktail, you want to dull the sound of others, whatever, go to Carthay, go to Boardwalk, go to the hotel, hell, go to a restaurant
Hmm.
at Disney, but go and pay the extra for that premium drink because the stuff that you're getting at the carts, it really tastes like fruit juice. There's nothing really there. You're not getting even a little bit. And I'm not the only one who said that. I watch a lot of, you know, influencers who go and have a drink at Disney and they're starting to avoid the carts too because it just makes more sense to do a walk up and have something that, you're going to pay $20, but you're going to have a nice buzz from it. Or the beer. Beer is always a good choice. Um, and now Schmoozies is offering alcohol, which
Hmm.
I was like, oh, I don't do milkshakes with vodka in them.
Yeah.
Not my thing, but like knock your socks off, like go for it. Don't let the kids get a hold of that one. So I don't know. I feel like Disney is starting to embrace a drinking culture, um, which turns some people off and some people are fine with it. I mean, debate for another day, but I feel like Disney's like leaning more into their kind of adult drinky drinks as opposed to like let's put some emphasis on some decent food that isn't mac and cheese. I don't know.
Well,
Like you said,
the
festival
return,
is not it.
yeah, the return rate is high.
Hmm.
Like it's an easy way to bring in money because it, you know, what you're charging for a shot, that's not what it costs
Yeah,
at all.
well, like think about it. I mean, if they're putting in, let's say 2 ounces of alcohol, right? How long is that bottle going to last? A bottle of alcohol, even if it's top shelf, it's what, like they let's say they're using Tito's. It's what, $25 for a giant bottle? Like you can piece that out. Yeah, their rate of return, they're making bank, money hand over fist on that one, which again, I get it, they're a business. It's just don't forget that there are still kids and people who don't drink and, like put some stuff out there that's tasty in the
One of
food.
the things you should try if it's not an alcoholic thing, and you can use the tab on it because it's not alcohol,
Yeah,
is the cherry mango punch
that was
from.
good. I
It
like
was very
cherry.
good. So
Yeah.
it is tangy and sweet at the same time, but it is very good. That's one of the better things that I had, and I put that down, and yeah, if I were going again, I would definitely get another one. I would pay for it.
And
Yeah,
that
that's really
that
good.
does look really good. And then they also at that booth, they have the braised pork belly adobo,
Yeah,
which
that
I
was good.
definitely want to eat because I
Yeah,
like that. And then at that one, they have the Mad Santa macaron
that's
inspired
the one that
by
I
the
had.
Disney Plus series, The Santa Clauses.
Yeah, that's the one that we had. It was really good. The pork belly was really good too. It's kind of salty because it is a pork belly.
Pork belly, yeah.
But the garlic rice, ooh, the garlic rice, that was actually really good. The rice was actually really, really good with that.
Can
So
you, you don't really drink coffee, so maybe you don't know. The churro toffee cold brew latte,
that's
can you put
almond
that
milk.
with a tab?
That is almond milk. Yes, you can. That it's
It
made up
is.
with almond milk. Yeah, and they asked me about that because they were going to hand me that. I'm like, oh, that's not what I ordered. And they're like, oh, you're not going to try that? And I'm like, no, it's got milk. She's like, that's not, it's almond milk. I'm like, it is? Yeah. Oh shit. Maybe I'll have to come back and try it. I completely forgot about it every time we've been since.
Because we really like cold brew coffee, and honestly, like the dairy is sometimes not doesn't like me either. So I like the fact that they're offering something with almond milk. So maybe we'll get the adobo, the punch, and the latte from there. Um, because I like all three of those things. And I don't know, that macaron sounds good.
It is.
I
It
like
was.
peanut butter mousse. Peanut butter mousse and salted pretzels. You can't go wrong with peanut butter and pretzel flavor, in my opinion. Well, there's four of my tabs.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, worth it.
yeah, no,
It
that
was.
that booth looked really good. That was the booth that I wanted to make my way over to. Um, I wonder if they're going to continue. See, it's only a seasonal offering. It was called the Filipino Feast Burrito, and it was pork belly adobo, so it's delicious. Fried rice, pancit, lumpia, all wrapped up in a tortilla, and they served it with the sweet chili dipping sauce. And that's where we also got the holiday turkey empanada, but we mobile ordered it, so we didn't use
Yeah.
tabs.
Yeah. Well, usually when you can mobile order something, I don't think they take the tabs.
No,
So
you have to pay. When you mobile order it, you have to pay. So we made the executive decision because it was crazy busy when we went. And so we decided we're just going to mobile order the food and go eat it as opposed to wait in line and have the tabs on that one. So it was an executive decision at the time.
so I went back in that little magic key holder area
Yeah.
uh, where they used to have the fast pass for um, Radiator Springs. Where that's where, wow, it was fantastic. There's just a few tables that are there, standing tables
Yeah.
that are
They don't
there.
even give us chairs.
Yeah, so it really was just like I saw it, and there actually, luckily, there were a few tables there because it is kind of tucked. It's out of the way, so I think that's kind of
It's there. And you
part of
don't
it.
have to be a magic key holder to walk over there. It's not like
I
it's
just walk over there. Yeah,
I think people don't realize that. They're like, oh, I can't be here if I'm not a magic key holder. And I'm like,
nope, just
really? No
walk
one's
right over there.
joking.
You got to be a magic key holder to get the Viva Navidad bag. So we haven't talked in so long. There's a lot missing
Oh
here.
my gosh, that's right.
It's been a while. So I did get those bags, but man, that first time I have learned my lesson to try to get to Disney right away after work on a Friday. Like that's not that traffic, just
That
getting in
traffic
any
ain't it.
parking lot at 5 o'clock is just ridiculous. And they stop. Um, they stopped the bag. Was it 7? So the first
Oh
time I
yeah,
tried
they
for that
were
bag,
like on the dot,
oh
right?
yeah, it was on the dot because people kept posting pictures of like, oh my god, the line is so long to get this bag. Yeah, when it opened, it isn't later. Like when you go back later, you walk right up. There's no one there. So I was hoping, man, there's got to be a bunch of people since they're just getting here. I left my house, I think, at 5 o'clock, and I didn't walk into the park until just before 7. Me and my bad knees about race back there to get the freaking thing, only to have it. No, we closed a few minutes ago.
You're like,
So
no.
yeah,
But you got it. I didn't get a chance to get there before they ran out of bags.
when I did go back though, we made a day of it. I had to leave work early for something anyway, so I was like, well, my daughter was already home. My brother was like, well, I get out about this time. We'll pick you up, man. I'll pull the other kid out of school a little early because I got to leave work for this other thing. So I'm gonna leave, pick him up, we'll pick you up, and on we go. And that one worked. And that day we actually ate at Tiana's too. So, wait, you know what? I know people are still back and forth talking about that, like it's good, it's not. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. There's the best beans on Disney property are at Tiana's. They're not good. Like they're just not good at the park.
Yeah. I've heard good things about Tiana's. I mean, most of the people that I've heard from have liked it.
Cornbread is to die for. That is absolutely wonderful.
I only ate the lemon,
Oh, the beignet.
yes, the lemon
Yeah.
beignet. Thank you. We had the beignet. If you like lemons, delicious. I loved it. But if you don't like lemon, like especially the lemon curd, you won't like the beignets at Tiana's, but I really enjoyed them. And I do want to go back and eat there at some point, but the hype has not died down. Every single time I walk by Tiana's, it is a madhouse, and the mobile orders go so fast in the morning. It's like competing with Jolly Holiday for like how soon can we get our mobile order locked in?
So have you never even walked in?
No. No,
Okay.
I went to the pickup window and then I sat out there like outside, but I didn't go in.
Okay. So it's like the French market used to be pre-COVID, because
Right.
after that, the French market pretty much just went mobile order. So you walk in and you go. It's like those old school cafeteria lines with your tray, and you kind of pick up whatever it is that you want. So the a line may look long, but it actually won't be that long. I think the worst part about that is the seating, because it is such a hyped thing, and you are looking at it's a counter service menu still. So the food, it's not table service. So that just means there's more people going to be there, but the portions are a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So it's going to take you a little while. It's going to take you a little while to eat. So I'll say this. Maybe I shouldn't give away my secrets about. I mean, I don't think I will. I don't think I'll tell you, but I won't give away my secrets
All right.
about where to go eat. So you can find tables. Um,
There's a couple of places around there that I've managed to like find a few hidden little nooks and crannies.
Yeah, and my hidden gem, I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna say anything, but you always could take it back over by the River Bell if you wanted. But I'm also not the biggest fan of, like, I've got a tray of food and I'm trying to walk through all the people. So that's why I think I'm gonna stay quiet and be like, nope, that's mine. I'm gonna keep my
Yeah.
little secret.
You're like, I'm
Um,
not going any further. I also like to eat at weird times. Like I'm pretty good about picking a time where not everyone else is eating. Probably because I get there at rope drop and then I don't really eat a breakfast. So as soon as it opens, I'm like, okay, let's go have lunch. And a lot of people haven't really thought about that yet, but I'll get around to eating there at some point because the food did look really good. I thought it looked good. I want to eat at Riverbell since they've kind of changed up their menu. I'd like to try that. I haven't tried that. I've got to be honest,
Still on my list.
yeah, I have not been a fan of like the sit down restaurants at Disneyland. I ate at Carnation Cafe twice. Food was cold and it was disgusting, not worth the money. I ate at Plaza with the character dining, and I know you're there for the characters, which I was, but I was like really disappointed in the food there too.
Well,
I
it's
thought it
breakfast
was
though, so
good.
the fried chicken, like the
It
fried
was
chicken, yeah,
breakfast. I
yeah.
haven't had their fried chicken or any of the later stuff. I went in the morning for the character dining breakfast, and I was like, I mean, I know you're here for the animals and the little animals and the little the characters in your pictures and healing your childhood trauma, but like I also want my bacon to not be cold when you're paying $80 a person. So I was
Yeah.
kind of disappointed in that. As far as like their sit down places, those two places. I liked the Blue Bayou. I know a lot of people had a lot of problems with that, but we had a really good experience there. Um, so I'd like to try.
Cafe Orleans is good too.
Yeah, I had that like pre-COVID, but not I haven't had it since I in the last couple of years. Because I guess I often leave the park and I go to Naples or I'll go to I really like the Uva bar. I'm sad it's not there anymore. Or we'll go to Trader Sam's. Like we leave the park a lot if we're gonna go have like a lunch, but I want to try it. I haven't had that. I haven't eaten there in a while.
It's a good dinner place.
I also would like to go back to Carthay Circle, the restaurant, when they changed their menu. I like because I know they do like seasonal stuff. And I
Yeah,
really
we do gotta go back.
that meal was that meal was good. That was really good. I was very it was worth the money in my opinion.
So besides the food, I think I did everything Christmas. I think the only thing I didn't do was watch either of the trees be lit, but I did everything else from the parade, the Christmas Fantasy Parade, which is up there as one of my favorite like daytime parades because they do it at night. They do run it at night, but it's not really a nighttime parade per se. It isn't, Paint the Night or the Electrical Parade. That is one of my favorites. I think it's more nostalgia than anything because I don't think a lot of it has changed at all in a while. But I did that a couple of times. Really great views. Again, I'm not going to give you my secret spot to watch it from, which could be a kind of a last minute thing. That's not going to you. Sorry. But I've done that. I did do the Viva Navidad stuff. I watched it twice. Once I was kind of far off. The second time, it's actually when we went to go do all the tasting. I did watch it right in front of where the float is. That's where we ended up kind of early and just kind of waited it out. So it was actually it was fun. I like that. And it's a cultural thing too, obviously. So did that. Have done both the fireworks shows, the one at Disney a couple of times, and then I did World of Color, I think just before we were blocked out. Yeah. A few days before we were blocked out, I watched World of Color. I have tips about seeing that too. I don't need no stinking pass. No cute for me. I never ever get one anytime I've watched that show, and I always have a great view. So not going to happen. I won't give you that tip either. Sorry. But I was good. The whole thing is just, they use Christmas songs, holiday music, and they use pieces of films to kind of show off whatever song it is that they're showcasing there. And it's a good show. It gets you in just as much in the feels as everything else does. But this one was interesting. So they had before it basically a 4 to 5 minute commercial for Wish, which they have done that. That's very common for them to take something like they do it during. They actually do it during Lunar New Year. They do something with a lantern before, and anytime they have something to promote, it's not uncommon for them to put together a little 4-minute preview of that. And this one was Wish. So I'm going to go off a little bit before I go back to what I'm talking about. I did see Wish. I saw it last week, and I have talked to several people, and I think you're one of them, who were just like, I heard it got like just terrible reviews. I don't know what they're watching. I thought it was actually a really well done film. It has that old Disney feel to it, while still being modern. So like the songs are really catchy, but they're more modern than they are, classic Disney vibes. Someday my prince will come kind of thing, whatever.
Right.
So it's not that, but there's so many nods to 100 years worth of the studio and almost 100 years worth of films in it. There's so many little things that you catch. Like if you're an avid Disney fan, you realize, hey, that's so and so. That's so and so. Hey, did you catch that? Hey, you know what I mean? It's there. It's kind of in your face, and some of it's kind of subtle.
Yeah.
Like, even there's a deer in the film, and they talk, right? Because that's what kind of happens within the movie. And there was a bear that the deer said something to the bear, and he said, "Ah, that's no problem, Bambi. Let's move on or do whatever." And you're like, uh, uh. You hear what he said? So it's just like it's there. It was fantastic. I thought the songs were really catchy. I thought it was a really good film, and I don't know what people are going on about. It was not this kind of like groundbreaking thing, but it's up for a bunch of awards, including Best Animated Film, and the songs are up for awards for the songs too. So can't be that bad. So I don't know. I think the culture of kind of going to the movies and what you expect out of Disney is just way overhyped, and you're not going to get it. But I thought it was really well done. I can't wait to see it again until it comes out Disney Plus, which at this point I don't think it's going to be that long. And everything that I've kind of read about it said, this side actually might be, I don't know now because it's been out a while and there's some theaters that aren't showing it anymore, but they're like, this could be a sleeper hit, kind of like Elemental was, where it didn't get a lot of love in the theaters, but people go and watch it and be like, damn, that's actually a really good movie.
I'm not really big on going to the movies. Like it's not my thing.
Hmm.
So I look forward to them coming out on Disney Plus, and I will watch it when it comes out on Disney Plus. And I wish that Disney would like release them the same. I know everybody's still trying to do box office, but I'm like, please. I read that they're thinking Wish will probably come out in February on Disney Plus. Um, Maybe early mid-February. So I'm looking forward to that. And I think that we live in a culture where people like to complain more than they like to just say, "Hey, I really enjoyed that. It was nice." And especially with a lot of Disney adults who are like, it's not what I'm used to. It's like, okay, but your grandma was used to Snow White and you grew up on Belle. Now we're moving on to something else, you know? Like it's okay to evolve and it's okay to have like new innovation while giving a nod to the stuff that came before it.
And this one gave nods to all that. In fact, during the credits, you see like kind of constellation versions of every Disney animated film that's like I think ever been released, because it was like not only your classics, but it was like, oh man, that's from Treasure Planet, that's from Atlantis, from that period where just not Disney's boom period, as far as films, which lasted quite a while. There was the hits with The Lion King and Little Mermaid, and after that, in the late '90s and into the early 2000s, they couldn't get a hit to save their lives.
Right, right. And it's like I don't know why people are just complaining. It's like, oh, I don't like this. Well, what don't you like about it?
Yeah.
And I never hear anyone being able to like pinpoint, well, I don't like the story arc. I don't like the main character. They're just like, well, it's not the same Disney I grew up on. Well, no kidding. You're old now.
Yeah.
Like, like
The plot is predictable.
right.
Yeah. And it's
Like
like
they're
there
all
are
the same.
10 Fast and the Furious movies. You telling me they're not all predictable? Those are not Academy Award winning films.
No, sometimes a film is just cute and lighthearted and fun and like a vehicle in which to buy more merch. Like, let's go, you know? They've made four Toy Stories. Like, let them make something else. We keep complaining. It's like Disney just reimagines everything. Well, you won't let them have new stuff. Every
Right.
time I try to come out with something new, there's a complaint about it. Well, it's not this, it's not that. It's a rip off of this. It's like let people enjoy things. So I'm
Hey,
glad that you liked
hold
it.
on, hold on.
Yes.
That brings to another conversation, and I'll get back to the Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
But public domain, public
Ah,
domain,
yeah.
and
Steamboat
Mickey
really.
Mouse. Yeah. So that's funny. So I mean, we known about this for a while, and Diggs and I were actually talking last week, saying, we haven't really heard anybody say anything in quite a while about public domain for Mickey Mouse, and it happened, and then you see it all over the news and all kinds of articles. So, I'm reading articles about it because I want to see, okay, well, I still have the characters, so what is allowed here and what's not. And I'm going to turn to your research skills here in a minute because I haven't done too much, but this is what I have seen. So first of all, it is just the Steamboat Willie incarnation of
Yes.
Mickey Mouse, that black and white one with the all black solid eyes. It is just that one. It is not the modern version of Mickey Mouse, nor is it anyone after the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse. It is just that original version of Mickey Mouse. So I cannot confirm. I read somewhere, but I cannot confirm that they can't even call him Mickey Mouse because I believe the term Mickey Mouse is still trademarked. You can just call him Mickey. I only saw that in one article, and I
Or
have not
they
seen
could
it again.
call him Steamboat, maybe. Let me look at that.
So that was kind of interesting. But the reason I brought all this up when you said something was
Yeah.
because I was watching a copyright professor, like professor who specializes in that, talk about it. And they said, well, okay, it's an interesting case because this is obviously who this character is. It's a huge character. This just means that. This just means people can put that now on T-shirts and sell your stuff, and there's nothing you can do about it. Disney can't do anything about it. You cannot, however, make it seem like something is representing Disney because Disney still has a trademark on that character. So you can use them in different instances, but you can't make it seem like it's an actual Disney thing, which makes sense. So there's that.
Be honest. Trademark, I know Disney goes after everyone for like violating their trademarks, but I could name one person off the top of my head who's not based in our park. They're based on the East Coast, but they do so much Disney merch that they create themselves that is like borderline. I am surprised that they have not gotten a cease and desist yet. So, like, a lot of people who've already been making money off of Disney, they know how far they could push something before Disney will be able to sue them. So the whole idea of like what they can and cannot do as public domain, um, that's great. Steamboat Willie is public domain now because it's been 100 years. But like, don't think there aren't people who are still making a ton of money off the back of Disney with their own creative little merchandising.
Yeah, well, 95 years. And that was an
Like,
extension. That was an extension because of the copyright laws for how long they were to
yeah.
extend it for Mickey Mouse. So that's been a whole thing too. So I found that super, super interesting.
So what
As
I'm reading, I went on the Oregon Public Broadcasting website, the OPB News, and they looked legit. They looked like they were legit. It says that um, the cartoon creature who stars in the animated short Steamboat Willie is specifically the only public domain character, right? It's not the Mickey Mouse we know and love. Steamboat Willie was different. And it says here that what is going into public domain is this particular appearance in this particular film. That's it. And that means that people can creatively reuse only the Mickey Mouse from Steamboat Willie, not the Mickey Mouse from 1940 Fantasia, not the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, not the Guy Today, none of that. It's only the Steamboat Willie version. New versions of Mickey Mouse remain under copyright. Copyright applies to creative characters, movies, books, plays, all of that. Mickey Mouse is also trademarked, and trademark law is completely different than public domain and the Steamboat Willie character. That's what I'm looking at here. Trademark law has no end. So you can't make Steamboat Willie and call him Mickey Mouse. You can't.
yeah, that's what I was getting at. You can't call him Mickey Mouse because that's trademarked.
Yes. I don't even think you can if they trademarked the term Steamboat Willie, then you can't even call him Steamboat Willie. I don't know if they did. It doesn't say in this article, but you can use the character's likeness.
Yeah.
So
Which
that's
is why everything I've seen has had the little hat on and stuff.
yes. Um, let's see. Um, Trying to see if there's anything like
I'm looking for
oh
people to get sued because they pushed it in the wrong direction. I did see that.
how
Yeah,
to
I
know
saw
it's-
that.
so
That's cute.
they have a little a little Mickey head, and the face says public domain 2024. You are free, gosh, 2024. Anyway, you are free to copy, share, and build on Mickey Mouse 1.0. Then one ear says trademark. You cannot use Mickey in a way that misleads consumers into thinking your work is produced or sponsored by Disney. And newer copyrights, you cannot use new copyrightable versions of Mickey until those expire. So I guess somebody's making a Steamboat Willie horror film.
Yeah, so that's just trying to cash in on what they did with Winnie the Pooh.
I
Like,
know, that's so
because
funny.
that literally dropped on January 1st, which means they were working on it already, and just dropped it to basically be a smartass. Um, whatever. I mean, it's not like it's gonna do well. It's not. It's the shock factor and to get yourself a little bit of press and get your name out there. It's like, oh my god, we did this because the film with Winnie the Pooh is supposed to be absolutely terrible. Like,
I
and it was never meant. I'm sure it was never meant to be good. It just is like, again, the shock factor in it. So it's whatever. It's pretty.
Yeah, whatever, people make some money. I get it. Everybody's trying to make some coin. I mean, okay. I don't do horror movies. I'm not a big fan. So I will not be watching Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah.
That is that is the most, I just pulled up the picture. Oh my goodness. That is the most terrifyingly scary looking Winnie the Pooh that I have ever seen. Holy cow. Yeah, I won't be watching that. Nor will I be watching the Steamboat Willie horror film either, but to each their own. Good for them.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's not like it's really going to make any money. They're really just trying to cash in real quick on the. Oh, look what we did. We did this, thing. We're the first ones. It was just that was wanting to be the first ones to do something.
Yeah.
Get your name out there, new automatically. Oh, they're going to put me on the news. Why? Because we came out and dropped this thing day one. So
Yeah.
it's whatever. I don't expect it to really change anything much. Like I said, I think there's going to be some people who push it too far and don't realize, no, you're breaking law here because you didn't listen. That's totally going to happen. Somebody didn't read it right.
And Disney has been known to come after teachers if they showed the entire movie of, a Disney film in their classroom. Like we hear a lot of, like, Disney will go after people. They'll eventually catch people. And if you're a key holder or you're a annual pass member and they find out that you're doing stuff that they don't agree with, they'll just trespass you and block you. Like, they have no fig Newtons. They'll just do it. And they're like, well, now you can't even come into our park. Good luck and God bless. So,
Yeah, and you don't win
no.
with those things. Hell, a whole state can't win. You think you as a little tiny business or an Etsy shop is going to win? No, you're just not. It's too big of a machine. You're not winning.
Yeah,
So
I mean, and
sorry.
they'll let some stuff slide. Like they'll let the ears, the Etsy creators who make ears, as long as they're not too close to the ears
Yeah, I was
that
gonna say
they're
there's some
doing.
who have been, yeah.
They have to be like more, they have to be like something that can't be mistaken for being in the park. So they'll let some stuff slide, but no, Disney will catch you. And any corporation that is that large is going to work to actively protect their brand. Like, that's just what they're going to do. And I don't fault Disney for that at all.
Mm-mm.
That's what they're supposed to do. They need to protect their brand and their image, because you can't have you seen the memes of like a broken down looking Mickey Mouse costume, like something you'd see on Hollywood Boulevard, standing outside of like Six Flags Magic Mountain, and a kid with them, and they're like, I'm gonna tell my kid this was Disney.
No, I haven't seen those.
Oh my God. I'll find it and send it to you because they're
That's
pretty
funny.
funny. I'm easily amused.
That's funny. So back to the Christmas stuff. Other the stuff I did. I don't know if you did any of this stuff or not. I tried to do that. I didn't get on a lot of rides, because it was always just so busy, which is fine. That's not, why the reason I have a pass. Um, I did watch the Small World light up, which if you've never seen, is an amazing thing. Like it's actually really cool. It's super short and people line up for it. I was right in front. Was there, I don't know, 20 minutes. I wasn't there.
I watched
Crazy
it
amount of time.
from you.
Oh yeah.
I saw it. I saw it uploaded. Um, I did. I actually went to Disneyland with my friend who doesn't have a pass. So we bought her a day ticket, and unfortunately, she had to leave earlier than we wanted to, but something happened, like something came up, and we had to leave. I don't know, what did we leave at like 9 or something? But we had been there since pretty much rope drop, and we got Genie Plus for the day. And I could see now why people buy Genie Plus. I don't think I would buy it all the time. But if I have friends who are day ticket holders and they only go to Disney once a year or maybe twice a year, I would definitely tell them to buy Genie Plus because if you get there early, and that's the secret to Genie Plus,
Yeah.
you have to stack your like rides in a certain way so that you can maximize them. Because like if you're going with kids, don't bother with Genie Plus. Nothing in Fantasyland gets you Genie Plus. It's not worth it, right? And most of those lines are 30 minutes or less because they're omni movers, so they keep going. But
Except
if
for Peter
you
Pan, which is always about an hour.
Peter Pan, I do not. I will never. It's not even that good. I know, unpopular opinion.
That's a wildly unpopular opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no way in any universe I would wait longer than 30 minutes for Peter Pan. Just it's not like it's just as good as Pinocchio in my opinion. You just fly in a little boat over a little city. That's it. But whatever. Yeah, 45 minutes all day long for Peter Pan. Aside from Peter Pan, um everything else goes really fast.
Mhm.
Even Casey Jr. goes fast if they have two trains.
Yeah.
You're just constantly moving. So if you have little kids, it's not worth it. But if you want to get on all the e-ticket attractions, dude, Genie Plus, it was great. We had a great time with it.
So can you use it on a ride more than once? Or is it just the
We
one time?
didn't try, but I think it's just a one time per. Um, uh, so what we did is when we got there, I immediately made one for Thunder because we got there a little bit later than Rope Drop. So we went on Big Thunder because a couple of them were down. Indy's usually down in the morning. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
So we got on Big Thunder, we scanned in, and while I was walking through the line on Big Thunder, I was making our next one for I want to say it was Haunted Mansion. Well, unfortunately, Haunted Mansion broke down. But fortunately for us, we were far enough in the line. We were like one of the next 10 people to get on. They gave us a multi-experience pass.
Oh yeah.
So we were able to use that later for whatever we wanted. But like that's the way I was working it. Like as soon as you scan in, it has to be 2 hours apart or as soon as you scan into an attraction.
Okay.
And then what ends up happening is
So like that's like Fast Pass.
Yes, yeah. And then somewhere I was noticing between like 11:30 in the morning and like 4, that's the most busy. And so it's very difficult to get any fast passes, Genie Pluses, Lightning, whatever they're calling it. Anyway, for those times. So like what I would do if I were doing it is I would stack them in the morning, right? Go on a couple fast and then see what you could stack. Then the middle part of the day, I would do my Fantasyland, walking around, seeing a show, eating, watching a parade, and then try to stack them for the evening again. but we were able to do all of the rides she wanted to go on um, with no problem and minimal wait. And that was our biggest issue because like she has some concerns where she can't necessarily stand for long periods of time. And so we were debating like, do we get her a scooter? We all know how much we love those.
Hmm.
Or do we try this Genie Plus? It was way cheaper for us to both like for me it was 35 for her because she was a day ticket holder, it was $25. And that was like cheaper than the it ended up being less expensive than the scooter. And we had a great time. It was awesome. So highly recommend it if you have people who only have a day.
Um, let's turn that to Universal, because one of the other things I did on break was I actually went to Universal. I thought I would go more this year, but my softball schedule didn't allow that. So I think this is only the third time that I had gone this year. And we went that week before Christmas. I think it was the 18th. I think is the day that we went. And I didn't try to get there first thing in the morning because I didn't want to fight traffic getting into LA in the morning. So I went about 1 o'clock. I think I was in parking lot about 2 o'clock. Now I have a gold pass. And my gold pass entitles me to free general parking, but I can also pay the difference to upgrade to preferred parking, which I always do because it ends up costing me less than $20. As many times as I go, the $20 isn't a deal breaker there. So it's a lot closer as far as parking. So I did that. And then we went in, and I knew it. I knew going in, it's going to be absolutely packed today. And it was crazy packed. And we went just to do some of the Grinchmas stuff, to see the tree, the little shows that they have there, and just, that kind of stuff.
Right.
That's what we wanted to do. Because we wanted to get another use out of our pass before it actually expires as we speak here in a few days. So we did, knowing, okay, we might not do a whole lot today. Let's just do this. We got in, we decided to watch Waterworld, which I hadn't seen in over 20 years. That was a blast. That actually was really fun.
I really want to see that. Like when we
Yeah,
go in May,
yeah.
something I want to see.
We need to.
We had a series of unfortunate events when we went last time
Yes.
together, but I want to see that.
It was totally worth it, and people got wet. That's all I'm gonna say. Some people got soaked.
Yeah, they have like a whole splash zone. Like they warn you.
No, 3/4 of the thing is a splash zone. 3/4 of it is splash zone, but it doesn't help when those things the kids take into the pool where you pull on it and it sets up the water. Yeah, they use that as they're hyping you for the show on audience members.
Awesome.
Some people are going to get soaked. So I was in an area where it's like I was in the splash zone, but further back, like a couple of aisles from the top, I was fine. I didn't really get it wet. Maybe a drop here or there, but it wasn't anything crazy. I actually watched them pull out buckets of water and just throw them into the audience as a hype thing. We told you, you may get wet. So anyway, that was fun. So we did that, did the Grinchmas stuff, ate. They handle crowd control almost as good as Disney. Certain ways to walk and all that kind of stuff. So that was done fairly well for the most part, especially in that in Universal Plaza, that big, main thoroughfare. They did it pretty well there. They do have mobile ordering now, which is a big bonus. I've been saying this for quite a long time. You need to get mobile ordering because it would make things a lot easier. So they do. It's only within a couple minutes. Like if a place has something, it's in 15 minutes. Or you can choose later times too. The part was nice. Could I get it to work? No, I couldn't.
I'm not surprised by that.
The app was so glitchy. I think partially because it was just so busy and the reception. I actually got a survey about their stuff later, and it said something about connecting the guest Wi-Fi. I didn't even see the guest Wi-Fi.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember if I've connected to it before, but I didn't see the guest Wi-Fi, so I never connected to it. So I tried my hardest to order some stuff. I finally got it loaded, and then it's okay, pay by card. You need to add a card. Standard fare, right? I'm going to put a card on my app. That's what I use to buy things. Not a problem. Name, address, city, get to state. It's a pull down. I pull down. There's nothing there. There's no state to select. So I just hit the next button, and it says my city, Alabama. Which is just alphabetically the first state. Right? So I was like, are you kidding me? In the meantime, I have tried force closing the app a couple times and doing all that. I just can't. So I'm like, you know what? This isn't going to work. Let's just go over there. Luckily, I walked in and there was actually like a person or two in line. It wasn't that busy. So we
Yeah.
ordered, and then I know. Oh, remember where our chaperone lounge was?
Yes.
That's where I ate upstairs up there.
Oh,
Real
okay.
nice, plenty of tables upstairs. Everything
Yeah.
downstairs packed. Up
Yeah.
there,
I think
a
people
good amount of
forget.
seating. Yeah,
People don't realize that if the stairs are open, that you can go up there. Like some people, I think just
I
think
took the elevator.
us.
I had a tray of food. They had an elevator. I just pushed the button and went up on the elevator. I was like, I'll walk down the stairs, but if I got a tray of food and this
Oh,
elevator's working, and I told my daughter, I'll bet you it's down right now.
because
So
that's
she
the
put,
luck you were having.
yeah. That it's no, that it's on the floor that I need.
Oh,
Yeah, to go up. I ordered on the first floor, go to the second. And so she pushes the button, and sure enough, it opened up. I said, well,
nice.
walk right in. Walk right in, kid. Let's go. So there, upstairs, I tried it again just to see, like, hey, is this going to work here? It did. So I think it just happened to be a reception thing. But
Mm.
next time I have a hotspot. I think I'm going to take that next time in case it's really busy. But mobile ordering seemed like, and I saw a lot of people using the mobile order, and it seemed to work okay. So I was like, okay, that's another notch in the like, okay, you're doing some things kind of in the right way. That's good. That's another notch, and you're doing well. Okay, what they don't do well is, so you talked about Genie Plus. So it was busy.
Yeah.
I asked about, because they got their little signs, upgrade to a silver pass today for like $80 or $89 or whatever it is. Okay, so I asked them, how much is the express pass today?
Oh, was it like $350?
$175 per person.
Oh, yeah. It's expensive but that's what they do to try to keep less people from using it.
And I get that. If it had been 60, maybe even 80 a person, I think I might have actually done it, because I'm like, well, we're here. We don't come that often. It's Christmas time. Let's do that. Not at $175 a person. That's ridiculous. And I think if you bought it online, like with your ticket, it's only an extra like 100, which
Yeah,
is something to think about. But like, I was like, ooh, how about no?
don't they, if you get their one of their highest level passes, don't they have like the thing where you can get express pass after 3 p.m. or something like that?
Yeah, and I don't have that one. I don't go enough to justify that.
Yeah, I have to say I've debated. I like Universal Studios, but I'm not a huge fan of going to LA. It's not my favorite thing. Um, and I go to Disney so much. Like I think I used my Knott's Pass twice this year. We're not getting Knott's Passes again. Because we just didn't use them. And I don't want to like I'd rather funnel that money into something else. But I enjoyed Universal Studios Hollywood, but the lines are out of control and the rides aren't great.
So
I didn't
like,
think they were like worth it. I don't know.
so we'll talk about the line. Obviously, it was very busy. There's
Yeah,
not a ton of attractions.
right.
That's true. There's not a ton of attractions. So none of it for a little bit was times that I wanted to wait in line for that. For the life of me, I do not understand why the Secret Life of Pets is above an hour wait. I
There's
don't
no
understand it
reason. And
at
oh
all.
man, can we talk about the most uncomfortable and not necessary ride vehicle that I have ever been in? That ride vehicle for the Secret Life of Pets is so uncomfortable and there's no reason for it to be. It's a kiddie dark ride and they like squeezed us in. Like and if you're a person of a larger size, that ride is either hard to get into or impossible to ride and you have to get out. And it's like there's no reason for it. Like I could see the Harry Potter one. I get that one. But like the Secret Life of Pets, it's Teeny Baby Dark Ride. Like
Yeah.
there's no reason for that. Well, so when we went, we had chaperone passes, which I have to say, good job, Universal. Keep doing that chaperone front of the line pass. When we walked onto the Mummy and we got on it, fun, fun little ride. Was what, 45 seconds long? And there were kids waiting an hour and a half for that. And I was like, no.
So a couple things
Absolutely
I've
not.
noticed, and this plays into what I'm gonna say.
Yes.
After kind of the Christmas stuff had happened, after the Grinchmas show, the tree lighting, after the Harry Potter light show, which has been crazy, which is incredible, all the digital mapping on it, ride times just dropped. They just completely dropped. So I was like, okay, here we go. So my kids had decided I'm a little big right now, so I was like, I don't even want to try Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like I'm fine. Next time we come back, I will fit. I promise you, I will fit on
Yeah.
this ride because that's where I'm at right now in my journey. Um, I will fit. So they actually got on twice, single rider,
Oh,
and
I love single
yeah,
rider.
and did
My
just fine.
favorite.
So then the Simpsons had dropped down to less than 30 minutes. The Jurassic World ride was a walk on.
Yeah.
It was less than 15 minutes. So we rode that. And then Mario had dropped to about 45, but my son wanted to do all the little quests instead. And my daughter, a friend of hers was there that day. They took off for a little while to go do some stuff. So yeah, it just dropped big time. And I had noticed that when I'd gone before at the beginning of the year, like if you go, you got to do Universal 2 times, either right in the beginning of the day, like you like to do,
Uh-huh.
or at night.
At the end. Yeah.
Yeah, at the end when they close at like 10,
Yeah.
you'll get a lot done. So that's what like during the days it is kind of rough and whatever. So we were talking about it, and I did decide um that I think I am going to renew that at the same level. And I don't think I'll get more out of it this time because my schedule this year is just not going to be as crazy because there's just not as much softball.
Yeah.
I'm only down to just basically Saturdays. So I
So
think
they
I'm
have,
going to do that.
which pass do you have?
The gold one.
Okay. Yeah, because it's with the Platinum Pass. That's the one where you get uh Universal Express access valid after 3 p.m. to participating rides, attractions, and shows.
Yeah.
Also,
But you all have to have that.
yeah. Well,
So
yeah,
I don't.
you
I
don't
have the
have that because
gold.
you have
No,
kids.
I have the gold. Then I have the silver. So
Right.
the difference. Look at the difference in the two because I'm looking at it right now too. The platinum pass online is $579. Now that
Right.
was per person. Gold is only 300. So that's literally your 2 or 3 visits that pays for it because it gets as expensive as I want to say the dad or the uncle of a friend's friend who was there for my daughter. He was telling me that it was over 100 and almost $160 for that day. It's not cheap.
No,
Like
no,
the
it's
per
not
day
cheap.
stuff is not cheap.
No,
So
it's not.
at $300, that's a steal, and
Yeah.
that really is like 2-3 times. Plus, you get merchandise and food discounts, and then your calendar isn't too bad. Like I could have gone on that pass on Christmas Day and the next day.
Right.
I could have gone on those 2 days. So and then the silver one isn't that far behind it. And then in the summertime, I'd be looking at going during the week anyway
Do you
because
get
I'm
parking
off.
with that one?
So I do. Remember, I had just said you get free general parking,
General
and
parking.
then
Yeah.
I upgraded to preferred for I think it was $18.
Worth it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because the in fact I talked to a friend of mine who took his kids like the 27th or something. His kids are back home from college because they both go off to school. He dropped quite a bit of money to do that, but he actually and I asked him, oh, why? What made you decide to do that? Because he did buy the express. I'm like, how much was that? He's like, I'm surprised I have an arm and a leg right now because he's like, it was pricey. I thought about it, turned it down. He said, yeah, and he said, but you have that pass. I don't see it in my foreseeable future because my kids are both going to graduate college this year, and who knows when we're going to do something like this again. I said, no, that makes complete sense. And he
Right.
did tell me, he's like, I parked. I didn't get there when it opened, so I parked way at the furthest lot, all the way back, way in the corner. It's a half an hour walk from leaving the park to get to your car. I'm at
Yeah.
9 in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
And that walk, going from your car to the park is fine, but going from the park to your car, that is never ending. That is forever. Knott's does kind of a similar thing though. They have something called Fast Lane, and with Knott's Berry Farm right now, which they only offer it for a very small time, you could buy a season pass, so a year-long fast lane fast pass system for $675 for the whole year. Um, or per day, and they do sell out. They don't allow like unlimited fast lanes.
Well, and to be fair, neither does Genie Plus,
Right, right. No, absolutely. But it's
and that makes sense.
starting at $74
Yeah.
for Knott's Berry Farm. And Knott's Berry Farm only has like 5 attractions. I mean, that are like thrilling. Like they don't have Omnimovers. Their Knott's Berry Farm's rides are slow to load. And I noticed that with Universal also. Um uh Jurassic Park has a good load. Like that
Oh
has a
yeah,
lot of
it's quick
people.
too. Yeah,
That one's fast. But aside from that, like the Mummy seemed to take a long time to load,
it
mainly
does
because
because there's only one. Yeah.
it's very small track, and also, well, we went with a bunch of kids and they were being stupid. So how many times did they have to tell that kid to take his hat off if they weren't going to let us go?
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, bro. But they have a lot of like, what does Universal have? The tram ride moves a lot of people. Jurassic Park moves a lot of people. What else moves a lot of people?
The Simpsons does fair. It's not incredible, but it does fair.
It does,
Harry Potter's continuously moving,
yeah.
so that does. It's never usually that bad. I've never seen a post. I've never seen a long. I mean, I have seen them posted, but I've never gotten in a line where it wasn't like less time than it actually said on the thing for the Harry Potter ride.
I
So
mean, to be
it's
fair,
fair.
this is the busiest time of year for all the theme parks.
Yeah.
Like this is busier than even summer. So like, yes, we are talking about theme parks at the height of popularity, but like that's when people want to go. Like a lot of people want to see the Christmas stuff. I have to say I've considered buying a day ticket to Universal just so I can go see like the Christmas time Whoville and the Harry Potter stuff. Not even to ride any of the rides, but just to go and see it. And I kind of wish that it wasn't trendy right now to meet the Grinch
Oh
because
God.
the
Yeah.
lines are so bad. And it's like everyone wants that next viral video interaction with the Grinch. And I'm like, first off, a lot of pressure for for the Grinch. Um, but whoever, like every Grinch I've
Take him
seen
in the
has just
onion.
been
Yeah, we've never
top
seen that
notch.
before.
Right.
Give him
But
some
the other
Disney years. Never seen that.
and it's like I don't think I've ever had a bad character interaction at Disney. We didn't really have any, I didn't have any at Universal, so I can't really speak to Universal, but Disney, their character interactions are amazing. But I wish it wasn't so trendy to have a viral video of character interactions because it's just to me, it's like, come on, like get your picture, have a conversation. Let's keep that line
See,
moving.
but the difference between Disney's and Universal's is Disney kind of wants you moving along.
Yes.
They want you to take your photo and be moving. Someone like the Grinch gives you a full interaction.
Yeah, it's like a show.
So it takes longer to get through, which is why the wait, it was 3 hours when I was there. And I
And
was
I
like, I'm not
believe
waiting in line
they
for that.
have 3 different Grinch
Now that
interactions.
I didn't know. Otherwise I would have looked at what that was because I've heard the one on the lower lot is a lot less time than the one on the upper lot. And I didn't know that.
So
It's the second one.
they had a pass holder only Grinch. They had the Grinch that everybody wanted to meet, I guess, at the upper lot. And
Yeah,
then
right in the middle.
that they had another Grinch who was at minimal bilingual, but then I heard also may speak Japanese. So it was
I don't
like,
know. I wanted to see Hello Kitty.
oh
My
my
daughter
goodness.
kind of want to see Hello
Maybe
Kitty.
we
Yeah,
do.
I know. There was no way you were going to get to that. That thoroughfare where they host them is
Yeah,
so freaking busy. Like there was no way that was going to happen.
the Hello
Like I
Kitty.
only ever saw a troll out there, and what's his name? Not King Louis, King Julian
Julian.
from Madagascar.
I would want to meet Gru and the Minions because I kind of love Gru.
Yeah, the minions are fun.
Yeah, the Minion ride was fun too. That also packs the people in.
Yeah,
That Minion ride
it's
can get a lot of. I forgot about the Minion
yeah.
ride, but our Minion ride in Hollywood is good. I love Hello Kitty, and I like a lot of the face characters. Like I would love to see like like
Well,
the
we met Beetlejuice,
yeah, Beetlejuice was so good. He was really good.
Frankenstein, and Dracula are.
Frankenstein, Dracula, Bride of Frankenstein, like they're all people. I like how Universal does have a lot of them roaming around. Again, probably not going to see any of them during Christmas because there's too many people there, but
Yeah, Scooby Doo and the
yeah.
gang are there. Like, yeah, there's a good amount of characters out, and they are fun.
I have to say, if I ever made it to Florida, which I don't know if I'll ever make it there, the weather is not something I want to deal with. But I really would love to go see Universal Orlando because from what I've seen of like, the vloggers and the live streamers that I've seen, Universal Orlando is just amazing. They have the two parks. They have a lot more characters, a lot more interactions, a lot more space to work with.
Well, as far as their parks, that's the main office. Like as
Oh,
far as
yeah.
their theme park stuff, that's their main office. Um, yeah. So I actually have a former student that's there right now,
Oh,
in Florida. Yeah, she's been posting from Walt Disney World and today from Universal Orlando, and I'm gonna hit her up and be like, "Wow, no invite, thanks."
you're like, I see how I'm loved.
Yeah, she's out. She's out with her boyfriend, celebrating. She just graduated from college, so
Oh,
she's out.
that's
She's out
perfect.
celebrating that. I'm sure
Fun trip.
to
Yeah,
do that. But
I would really want to see, and this is the conversation I have with Aaron. I would want to go to Disney World, but I only want to go to Epcot and Animal Kingdom because like the Hollywood studios they have and the Magic Kingdom, like I've got that. I don't need to
oh
see
yeah, and a
that.
lot of people say it's better here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and I don't need to see the bigger castle. Like none of that interests me. But he and I would love to go to Epcot because we don't have an Epcot, and we'd really like to see Animal Kingdom because I like the safari and zoo stuff. Like I'd want to go see that. So we would only want to spend like, 2, 3 days at Disney World. Oh, and we would love to resort hop because you could take all of their transportation and just see all the different resorts, which I think is really cool. But we would really want to spend a good chunk of time at Universal Orlando, because I feel like it's a superior park to Hollywood.
Minimum 10-day trip.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm
what.
not, sorry, but I I live in Southern California. I'm going to take a huge part of my vacation money and I use it to do things here that I could get to easily and that I could stay at home. So I'm not staying in a hotel or I'll stay in a hotel. But like we go to Palm Springs, we go to the mountains, we go to Disney, like we do stuff in here. So I don't really want to allocate what $5,000 to $10,000 to do a 10-day trip in the swampy pit that is Florida. Like,
Well, it's not going to be summertime. I'll tell you that. Right,
I
it's not
go
going
in
to be summertime.
February, but we only
Yeah,
get a week in February.
yeah. I'll take some extra days off. I'm getting to that point, but it's not going to be. It's only a couple more years until both my kids are out of high school.
I
So,
know.
okay,
That's
hey, can we
crazy.
work some time out here? Like, let's do that. So, I kind of wanted to keep this at about the time we're
All
coming up
right.
now. So we just haven't talked about anything in a while. I want people to know our numbers. I still get updates. I'm like, oh, people are still downloading our stuff and looking at it. That's cool.
Interesting, man.
Yeah, I mean, our YouTube numbers are actually not bad. They're not bad at all. People keep watching the dumb crap that I keep posting, me making a fool of myself at all these theme parks. So please keep watching, keep listening. This is just a little passion project that we do. It's just something fun to do and make people laugh. From naked guys on small world rides.
Yeah, none of
to,
us are going to be naked. Nobody needs
yeah,
that.
to me, to my daughter and I doing peanuts dances at completely the wrong park, which some people got the irony of the fact that I'm doing the third theme parks dances at the other one. Some people are like, thought it was funny, but were like, but that's not the right park. That's kind of the point of it. And these are people that I know that told me this. You
No
know,
kidding, guys.
that's the point of it. Like it's not at the right park. That's the point. And people are like, oh my god. Some people I don't even know are like, that is so freaking adorable. You're
It's
doing that.
fun.
It's just
It's
us
just
acting the fool.
fun. It's good
Yeah,
times.
bought way too much for the season. All the Loungefly bags are still on sale. You know what's funny is I took a picture when the season started in October, probably when they
Yeah.
first started getting all the merchandise in. I thought I was going to be funny, kind of like I did with the Halloween stuff. And I put on the light necklace, and I put on the Loungefly ears, and I had the Loungefly bag, and there was the plush Mickey, and then the sweaters in the background of the photo. And I saw that photo the other day, and I was like, "Oh my God, I have bought all of this except for that plush Mickey." The only thing I actually didn't buy because the
Because at
Loungefly
the end
ears
of
were
the day,
50%
we
off.
like it. It's fun.
Yes, but it also went on sale like really
Oh yeah, the
early.
sales that they had, they were putting stuff on sale like before Christmas. So
Way before
let's go.
Christmas. Like, yeah, it's like, oh, you look like you over-ordered. And in fact, I saw it. I bought everybody a holiday sweater, the candy cane striped one, which I really like, actually, by the way. It's actually
That
really
was a
comfortable.
nice sweater. And it looked
Really
really
nice.
cute. Like your family, like when you guys took those pictures, that looked great. You guys all matched and it was adorable and it was Christmas and it was perfect.
Yeah, and somebody had asked for another size, and they went in the back and got it, and brought out a handful more of them too. It's like, wow, they actively have this stuff, and I bought two of them because I wasn't sure my wife's size, so I bought two different sizes, and I had to take one back a couple of days later with the next reservation that I had, and I thought, oh man, they got to be running out of these already, right? Nope, they still had them, so I was like, wow, okay,
Yeah.
and in
Which
fact,
is rare because
yeah,
usually like when Disney's out, they're out and it takes them forever to get a restock or they're not restocking.
yeah, yeah. Although those Mickey, the popcorn buckets never came back. The
No.
soldier, yeah, the toy soldier never came back.
I'm glad you
Never
got
saw it.
that one. I'm glad we
Yeah,
got that.
I got a couple of those. Got some
Yeah, you
people
did.
who,
You did.
and
Because
I'm
you're
not a reseller, but people,
no.
ask me, hey, can you pick this up when you go? And I'm that sucker.
There's a difference between reselling for profit and doing your friends who can't make it to the
Oh no, I'm doing them a solid. Yeah, I'm
like
totally doing them a
there's a
solid.
vast difference. We need to get together again though, after we both go to Lunar New Year. We should try to get together and go to Lunar New Year.
Just
Like on
tell me
Friday
that
night
Sunday morning you want. Tell me that Sunday morning you want because I got it again. My softball, um, and I even I can't even think of the word. Commitments. There you go. My softball commitments on Sundays are no more. My daughter's almost done with this whole thing, so it's
Isn't that
just
crazy?
yeah, it's just during the week for practice or a game, and then a game on Saturday, and that's it. My Sundays, I know we saw this in the group chat. Our other people are still around. Um, Michael's doing okay. He's had some health issues.
Yeah.
Anthony actually just moved, but he's down again. He's ready to talk. He's always ready to talk. Anytime he's ready to
And
talk.
he's
Anytime,
fun.
actually.
We have
Yeah.
he's always fun. I wish Michael could join us even for a little bit because I haven't talked to him in a while and I'd love to hear his take on some things too.
Yeah, he's active again now. His health is
He's getting out
he's
there.
doing okay right now. He's doing okay right now. He's got some days coming up, some events coming up at Knott's. He's more actively at Knott's than he is at Disney. But I actually did see him. I ran into him at Disney. One of the last times that I was there
Yeah.
before the blackout, I got to see him and say what's up for at least a few minutes. So we got that, and I saw his lady too. So all right. Anything else you want to bring up
That's
before we
it.
say Happy New Year? We hope to be on here more now that my schedule is a little bit more set as to what I can do, and not always wondering like, are you going to be able? No, I don't know. I'll let you know when a schedule comes out for that tournament.
And let's face it, work in spring semester is way easier than work in fall semester.
Yeah.
Fall semester, for some reason, whoo, that one's a tough one.
Okay, I'm going to call it. It's been fun.
Okay.
It's always nice to see. I guess I'll see you at work.
Don't remind me.
Yeah. Join us in 2024 as we continue to do this. I don't see myself giving up a pass for the foreseeable future. I'm still waiting on my Magic Key refund of $67 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that either.
Yeah, to go spend
I
a
don't
bunch
think
of money.
so.
No, it hasn't. They haven't started those yet.
Oh.
I'm waiting to spend a bunch of money in order to go spend $67 because that's what's going to happen. And probably we'll go to a Star Wars night again this year. We'll see about anything else, and there's just a lot more. There's a lot more to come. We'll be there, doing what we do, just having a good time and talking about it. So, Happy New Year, guys. See ya.
Have a good
All
night.
right, see you later.
Disney Culture is a part of the Extraordinary Culture podcast universe. Follow my Disney stuff on IG and YouTube at Dan's Disney Adventures. Follow my Disney stuff on TikTok at Danzig77. It's DANSZIG77. Thanks for listening. See you real soon.